remember when you were a child and your parent gave you something to eat, and while you were eating that, you saw something else that they are having, and you tell them to give you that one, and they will tell you, finish the one in your hand first before you ask for this one. Yes, some of us did it. You see, as humans, as man, we have the tendency to want to rush through seasons. So we just want to move on to the next. God, what next? Even when the season is not yet done, we want to move on to the next. Truth is that when we rush seasons in our life, we will not maximize the season that we are in. When we just want to move from one point to another, not being careful to know, what does God want me to learn at this point in my life, we will miss out on a lot. And what God would have us learn that would help us in the next season, we would also miss that out. One of the seasons that we tend to rush for some people is the singlehood season. So when we are single and there's nobody calling us at a particular time, and you have a roommate and she just keeps answering calls after calls, and you are wondering, God, when is my man coming? When is my woman coming? And there's pressure. You want to just quickly get out of that season and move into that season of relationship. You are going towards marriage and all that. The thing is that if we are not intentional about that season of singleness, we will not make the most out of it. I want to say that there is grace for every season. And I'm not talking about grace to endure. God is not giving you grace to endure your single days. No, there is grace to achieve, to become, to do, to excel in your single days. Yes, so there's something that God wants you to do while you are single. There's something that God wants you to achieve while you are still single. There's something that God wants you to become. Yes, because more than achieving, more than results, more than getting this and that, God is also interested in our character. So there's something God wants you to become while you are single, before he moves you from that point to being married. But we want to rush this season. We are saying, no, God, I'm tired of being here. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be there. And when we rush season, we miss out on what God wants us to do. We miss out on what God wants us to be. In that single phase of your life, that is when you should begin exploring your purpose. That is when you should begin finding yourself, unleashing your potentials. Because for me, I see marriage as a greater call for something greater, for a greater level of service. Yes. So if we are not doing anything while we are single, we just want to rush into the marriage, the marriage season. And then I don't know, because you would not be able to still maximize that grace. So the grace of being married should actually come to help you do more, help you become more. But if you were not really doing anything before, then what should that season achieve in your life? The message to us today is, don't rush seasons. If you are in your single phase, you are still single, make the most out of it. That is the time to know God, to learn God more, to learn to hear God's voice. That is the time to find yourself. That is the time to become more. You have a book to write. You have a message for the world to hear, speak. You have a song to release, let it out. Yes, and then if you are in a relationship, you're heading towards marriage, make the most out of it. Learn, grow, impact the other person's life, make them better. Do what God wants you to do together. The Bible said 2 are better than 1. What you have started in your singlehood, it can be amplified in this phase, in that phase of your life. And if you are now married, do more. Put 10,000 to fly it. The goal is that at every point where you are, at every season where you are making the most out of it. You are making the most out of it. And in every season, God can find profit. There's profit in it for God and for his kingdom, and even for you. So don't rush seasons, okay? Take it easy. Leave people that are going on. Yes, clap for them, celebrate them, thank God for them. But you don't have to compare your life with them. You don't have to be envious of them. You don't have to be under pressure to be like them. Just be who God wants you to be. Enjoy every season. Make the most out of every season, because they are all a part of your life. And you're not just giving account of a season of your life to God. You are giving account of everything. You are giving account of everything, of your lifetime. Make the most out of each season, so that when you come out from that phase, you are better, you are deeper. And as people meet you at different phases in life, they meet you stronger, and they are blessed that their path crossed with you. Don't rush seasons. Make the most out of it. God bless you for watching. I am Martha. Yes, bye. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Leave a comment, and look forward to more edifying and more insightful videos. God bless you.